If you want to start a boat project but it intimidates you, don't let it. Find me on Patreon and we can get past it.
Welcome back to the JonYak project. Give you a quick recap on what we've done so far. We started by re-gutting a completely good frame because we could do a better one. This took a little bit of time, but was completely necessary. We also had to redo the bottom rivets because I gutted the initial bent seams, which was a huge mistake, but we took care of it. We took out all the blind rivets that we put in the bottom. We put in solid bucking rivets. My son helped me out, and we did it with a cheap compressor, an air hammer, and a bucking bar. We also got everything else ready for the frame. We used waterproof aluminum boxes for the first time. We used that inside a 1" by 1/16 inch frame, the first ever to be doing this, along with double walls for each side of the inner core, which allows us to run wires, tubing, and anything else seamlessly. And another part we prepped for was the transom. The transom was the only part of the boat that wasn't painted. Other than that, the boat was painted inside out with really good paint. So we scraped out all the corrosion and repainted the actual inside of the transom barrier. And then we redid the entire transom completely with synthetic Kusa board. We merged all 3 spots together of 1/2 inch to equal a 1.5 inch section, which we trimmed down to fit inside the inner core and then put back on the initial faceplate. Now we have a transom that's going to last pretty much forever and not rot the aluminum core. We used slightly better than stock hardware for that, and we also went at the paint, which took an obscenely long time. A lot of you were annoyed with the painting process, and so was I. So I can just show you a preview of it, but you really got to watch the series if you want an in-depth look at all the steps, because there is a lot of stuff that goes into painting, even if you're just going to rattle can your boat like I did here. We did step 1, painting the sides and the back. And so that came out pretty nice, but that was really only the sides of the boat. We wanted the bottom of the boat to have an extra coating of protection. So we put on Gator Glide, which is this super slick epoxy. Helped me seal in the rivets, and it was really nice, but it was also a real big pain to apply. We had to apply a primer first, and that went on all right. And then we applied the actual base, and it lived up to its name. It slides maybe a little too good. I mean, here's me. I'm a full-grown adult. Now I'm getting pushed across the trailer like nothing. And to test it on, we stuck 2 full-grown adults in this thing being pulled by Nick, and that thing moved seamlessly. If you'd like to check in on any part of this that you just saw in the preview here, we have a complete playlist for this boat. It's pretty in-depth. I try to make this very intensive for all viewers, regardless if you're a member of this channel or not. I also want to note that this entire build is 100% fan sponsored. It is sponsored by everybody who watches this, likes this, and shares this, and comments on this video, and it is really sponsored by my patrons, who are the giant hero of this channel, which allows me to do all these things and pretty much anything you've ever seen on this channel come into fruition. Now we're back to really start this and finish the frame. We're gonna go ahead and move forward with decking process. We still have to frame a few things in before we can completely finalize that. So let's just go ahead and do that. I kind of forgot where I was at. It's been so long since I framed it. So I gotta like backtrack and do some things. We're just gonna go ahead and tie up a few loose ends here with the side walls to connect it. That way we can just go ahead and move on from it. But we're running pretty thin sheeting everywhere where there's not a huge structural premise. And right now, that entire section is going to be filled with foam around the rod tubes. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of working the double walls, making sure there's conduits within those that you can run stuff seamlessly, like fish finder leads, wires, I don't know, any sort of plumbing hoses, whatever. That's what we're trying to instill with the double walls on each side to get rid of a lot of the convolution that happens and problems. Right now we are cutting a section for the rod locker, the actual frame. And we did it out of 10 snips to show you that you don't really need a fancy saw. That our frames that we sell on our site will cut with 10 snips. Good ones though, not the ones from Harbor Freight. You need a good pair. There will be another inner wall right there where you see that gap. So pay no attention to that big giant gap because that's where the double wall goes. But right now we have it secured to the frame. Just the frame, not the hull. You don't need to secure it to the hull, just FYI. 2 giant mega lockers and make the electric panel somewhere in the middle. But that's more of like a concept. It really isn't practical. I'm all about practicality, especially in a build like this where there's just no space. We're trying to stick 20 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag. So I'm gonna make this a smaller locker for like my 7-foot, I think this is 7 foot exactly. And I have a few 7-foot rods for worm dragging when the going gets tough. And then I have, I'll leave a little indent there for the actual recessed part. And then I kind of want to make the actual panel a little bit back. So. All right, so the electric panel gets the side part. It's just the best place to put it. I cannot get away from it, especially in a boat where there's almost no options like this 1232 John boat. But we're gonna do a few things. Right now we're just gonna box in the section. We'll be tackling the electric part later. That's its own entire video. But right now we're just gonna make the section for it where I think it'll work best. We don't need a whole lot of switches. This is not a giant boat. So we'll make it a little bit shorter than what it generally is. Right now what we're doing is we're T-framing the 1-inch angle that we send you in the kit. We're cutting off a little end here because that will allow you to go to the contour of the boat as it bevels in. So we make it so the ends go that way and then the other ends are straight because they're gonna underlay into the frame. The other problem here is we double walled it, so where you normally overlay it, you can't do that. So we gotta make a little bracket, stick it there, attach that, and that's where you attach the rest of your frame onto, which we'll do with some flush rivets, that way it's all flush. And we may black out this frame like we've blacked out the last few boats because it looks pretty sick. We'll do that with Gator Skin Soft Touch, but right now we're just worried about framing it in. We're also trying to make this so we have a drop-in panel. So now that we have this piece in, which is a crucial piece, we can now get to adding the inside piece, which, just darn our luck, we are just one few stupid millimeters off from being completely clean to go. All right, what I kind of want here is, want to be as wide as possible. We are going to end up overlapping some sort of 1/16 flat bar because I really do want the layover joints. I just want to show you this part real quick. So we'll pick our opening, which will likely more be like, we want a tight opening. We want as tight as possible. To get as tight as possible, I want the biggest opening possible. I mean, this is already a small locker, and so I want the biggest opening possible. And how I plan to do that, but still have this float, is, see how this is flexing? Obviously this is not sufficient. When you step on this, it will bend in. All right. That's why we include 1/8 inch flat bar. That's why we include 1/8 inch flat bar into the kit. Then we also have these awesome hinges straight from Nate's shop that are going to be paralleled with this. It's a specialized piece. It's very, very good. I cannot wait. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because this is the question that I get the most. In fact, the reason I'm putting a specific spin on this is so you guys can see it in depth. How do you float the hinge so it's stable? How do you use the 1/8 inch flat bar along with a hinge so it's stable? First, you gotta use this. You gotta have a 1/16 inch part overlaying right there, like underneath the main hinge. That way you always have a gap and the hinge will not bind after you attach everything. It'll be miserable. We're also floating the 1/8 inch flat bar right behind the hinge. The hinge is 3/4 by, I think, 1.5. Or we're checking it there. We're just using it kind of as a gauge. And once we have it lined up, we're clamping it all together, and then we are going to go ahead and drill and rivet sections in. This is where we get the biggest rigidity, because the 1/8 inch flat bar, when it's straight like that, it's very, very hard to bend. It's not the only step Next, we have to put brackets that attach to the side rails that we already pre-installed like way ago. We're going to install those, and that will give you the also added strength of the side rail. That works really well, just like that. That might actually be all you need, but because this is such a thin frame for the JonYak, we're going to have to go ahead and install a few other things after we secure this bracket to the sidewall. We're going to go ahead and have to make some brackets out of the tubing, and we're going to shove it in there underneath after we get all this done, and that's what's going to give us the edge of superior stiffness. And we're going to have to do that for a few sections in and out of it, but right now it's actually very stiff. Very happy with the results so far. We provide you with quite a bit of tubing, so you should have some scrap left over like this. We also have a bevel to fit the contour of the boat. Obviously that side sticks toward the outside of the boat. We cut off 2 after we measure it, and those are going to slide right underneath that bracket that we added right to the side rail. Once those are in like that, and you get them in, they're going to work really well. There's levels to the JonYak kit, so the monster kit for the JonYak that it makes, I mean, it's pretty much the exact frame model we're doing where we're trying to max out the platform. We'll include some longer rivets like this, so you can do this mod. All kits should have a pretty good section and a pretty good assortment of rivets for you to meet any needs that you need, including some panhead and tapered rivets of various lengths.
Yep. We put another one right here that we'll actually have to modify and trim a little lower right there, and then it should be good there. We shouldn't have to do anything in the very end, but like generally 3 brackets, which we did this on the Illumicraft. We did this to my boat. We have a specialized bracket hiding underneath that panel right there. I mean, that's just how we float the brackets, and we get the rod locker so big. I like a big rod locker. I don't like it all boxed in and small with a big giant profile on top. So we're just gonna hit it this way and make it happen. All right, look, with the last little 10% of battery I have, we pull that 1/16 gap ensures that this will flip, that this will actually move up.
There you have it. That's how you get a floating hinge without having to add under supports at all for a big mega locker inside this small boat. Check us out on our Facebook group, the most interactive group of us. We give you feedback and knowledge all day in a really good, friendly group here. We also have tons of short videos and other content released on Instagram, way more frequently than we post videos on YouTube. Check us out on all our social media platforms. Give a like and share and comment. It helps us trend more than you'll ever know and helps us get these videos out to a bigger, broader audience. This is TB Nation, guys. Thank you much. Check out our JonYak kits. They're on our website, tbnation.net.